And you know, I was just sharing with Troy. I learned that from one of my managers. We had a salon called Flashback, about 100 employees. On Saturdays, I did nothing but color. And I used to wear these really nice Italian $200 white shirts, and I'd always get a splatter of color on them. So I started wearing jeans and a shitty shirt. And I walk into work, and my manager one day grabbed me and says, "Do you know that jeans and sneakers makes a jeans and sneakers haircut?" And I never forgot it. I got in the car embarrassed, and I thought, wow, now my employees are teaching me. You know, isn't that a lesson to be learned? And I started to wear suits on Saturday. It's the most exposed day in our business. So I started to go in with a suit on, like Vidal Sassoon did. You know, put a suit on. Next, have the right attitude. Make sure you maintain an attitude of gratitude, an attitude of caring, and practice having an attitude from your heart. Not from your mind, not from your ego. Work from the heart. Next, smile. It makes people want to say hello to you. Just smile. You know that old saying, smile, people are wondering what you've been up to? People just don't realize the power of a smile. And I'll tell you what, I know a lot of you in the room are educators at times. Do you know sometimes the hardest thing about being an educator is to be up here, try to scan, look at all the faces, and sometimes in a room like ours, I'll walk forward a little bit so I can see some of you in the back. I look quick for your facial expression, for your body language. I try to look at your notes. I even look at how you're writing your notes, because how you write your notes says everything about what I share. If I say something and you go, I'm like, okay, that was a good one. I'll say, now write this down, and some of you are like, nah, all right. Don't do that one anymore, right? Okay. But I often would say to my staff, I used to walk in the salon and all I wanted to see was everybody at work loving work. When I'm in my dining room, I want to see everybody at the table loving my dining room. I've had times, well, first of all, I decided because my kids hated it so much, I was going to begin to play the Geno dining room game. Oh, it was wonderful. $5 to the first of all 3 children that can make me gut laugh. Every night, $5. They would come down every night. They all had schemes. They had scripts. My son comes down one night, we had an old accordion in the house. He learned how to play the accordion. He puts a hat on, he dances around, he walks around the dining room table. Da 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 da. I was like, stop, $5, don't even try, you two, he's already got it. One day my daughter comes in and she's dressed, but underneath her dress, she has a tutu on. So we're getting ready to sit to have dinner, and she goes, oh wait, takes off the tutu, takes off her dress, tutu on, turns on the music, and ballets through the whole thing. My oldest then does Andrea Bocelli. She stands up, the music comes, I don't know how they do it, music comes, she goes, listen, you have to bring fun into your life. You have to bring fun into your family. I would walk in the salon and they'd be blow drying hair. I hate this place. I hate your hair. I don't care. I hate your face. And I would walk in and I would say, my God, is everything okay? Everything's fine. I said, are you all right? Yes, I'm all right. I said, God, you look like you're ready to die. Are you happy? Yes, I'm happy. If you're happy, tell your face. I mean, wouldn't that make a difference? Just for Christ's sake. And you know, who owns a salon? Best thing I ever did was put a defibrillator in the break room. When they walk into work, you go, clear. Now look alive. Because they come to work and they're like, ah, shit. You're in the break room, you're here, and how you doing? Ah, why are we in Virginia? This place sucks. I'm like, oh, this is great. It's going to be one of those days. Get out there and do it. Next, treat others important. More important than you. Treat others important, more important than you. Next, ask questions pertaining to them. Don't talk about you. Ask them how they're doing. How's your life? How's your family? How's everything? How's work? How are you doing? Next, listen fully. Try not to get caught up in thinking. This is the mistake that people make when they listen. They start to think about what they're going to say. Don't do that. Think about what you're fast enough to think about what you're going to say after they're done talking. Find out what they're looking for. You know, every one of us listens to the same radio station. WIIFM. What's in it for me? Are you with me? I got back to my room last night. The first thing I did when I walked in my room was got on my phone. Barbara's like, what are you doing? I said, just seeing if somebody sent me a message. So I went to Facebook, I went to Instagram, I went to LinkedIn, then I went back to Facebook. Toya, she sent me a message. Was it Facebook or Instagram? Instagram. Yeah. And I knew I was great. But I really knew I was great after I read her thing. And most importantly that she said was, you never let me down. I was like, well, that's what it's all about. And the first thing I did this morning was hug her and said, keep up the good work. Thanks, you're a great judge of character. Next, now this is major for the artists in the room. I can't tell you how important this is. Think before you speak. Do you know how many times we just talk? How many times have you been with a guest, told a lie, said to yourself, wait a minute, you just told a lie, and you're like, go with it. There's no time to change it now. And you're just going along. You know, you're like, I don't know where this comes from, but help me, God, help me. Let's go through this. Practice thinking before you speak. My CDs. This set of CDs was created because I had an emergency appendectomy, and for the first time in my life, I couldn't work for a month. First time in my life. So I sat propped up on pillows in the salon and talked to the people, my guests as they came in, and watched this row of my employees, my hairdressers. So I had 16 hairdressers I got to watch. I watched them constantly say the wrong thing. Constantly talk about themselves. I said to Ruth, do you know that probably all your clients think you're either a whore or a prostitute? Because you have a different boyfriend every month. I said, if you're going to have a different boyfriend every month and you're going to tell every guest about it, then why don't you just start dating Jims? So you can say, oh, it's Jim. Who are you going out with, Jim? And they won't know. You know, they'll just think, oh, maybe it's the same Jim. See, you must remember, you are your conversation. You are your conversation. Be careful what you share with others. Be careful what words you allow to come out. Some things you think about are meant only for you. Only for you, not for the brain. So I made these for my staff, and I said, you deserve to make more money. Listen to these CDs. I'm going to teach you how to talk. Now, some of you last year bought, year before last, the 21 Keys to Success. Do you know why I made this? My assistant, Tracy, who I was talking about, who was making all the money doing hair color, calls me up and she says, I can't come to the show with you. I've got a cyst that I have to go to Johns Hopkins and have removed. I'll be ready for the next show in about a month. She goes to Johns Hopkins to have the cyst removed. It ends up she has ovarian cancer. She has the cyst removed. She has a complete hysterectomy. She's going to have 8 weeks of chemotherapy. She's going to lose her hair. I said to her, do not work, because when you have chemo, it lowers your immune system. She said, I can't not work. Single mom, 2 kids. She never missed a day of work. And I said to her, how did you do that? And she said, every day I read your 21 Keys to Success. Please make a CD set. And I made a CD set just for her because I think it's good. I get people that think it's incredible. And play it for everybody because it's not about beauty. It's really all about life. But you know what? I surround myself with stuff like this. I listen before I see you in the morning to something motivational, Zig Ziglar or somebody, when I'm in the bathroom taking a shower, getting ready to come here. You follow, okay? Next. Talk about your profession like it's a profession. This is your profession. Talk about it like it's a profession. I'm here for life. I learn for life. I'm always training. You know, all of you have incredible dialogue from this week. Did we go to Mexico and get drunk and have fun? Of course. But we went to Mexico to learn. We worked with some great educators. You need to start to prepare your dialogue for when you get back home. Because how was your trip in Mexico? It was amazing. It was wonderful. Oh yeah, we got some sun. But you know what? We worked nearly every day. Now you know what else? We worked every night. Every time we're together, we're working. Every time we stop and talk and have a quick smoke, We're talking about how's life, are you making money, what are you changing, what are you gonna do, what's gonna make a difference? This is work. What you just had, you had some fun, but you had a 6-day damn seminar. And that's what you need to share with your clients, because if you talk about your profession like it's a profession, you must continuously increase your value to the people you work on, or else they'll label you. They'll label you as a $25 or $30 haircut, and they won't see anything any different. So you have to begin to say to them, guess what I'm reading, guess what I'm studying, look at the CDs I bought. And those of you that aren't in beauty, you need to do the same thing when you get back home. This is not a beauty seminar, this is a life seminar. I mean, I always talk about life, John talks about investing. You need to go back to work and say, yeah, it was a 1-week vacation, but you know what we really did? I learned about a couple of great books I'm reading, I saw some incredible speakers, I'm very inspired, I really want to do great at work. You've got to be increasing your value to the important people in your life. Now, who's got kids? If you don't increase your value to your children, they'll stop listening to you. You got to make them understand one thing, only one thing. There's something that you know that they don't know that would make a difference in their decisions. That's all. I don't have all the answers. I'm just me. But I can tell you this, I know something you don't know that would make a difference in your decisions, in your life. And that's what I said to my son when he was going to leave after 10,000. I said, wait, save more. And then when he left, he was like, wow, I did it. You know, I'm all right, got it going on. Are you with me?
Yes.
You increase your value by talking about your profession as a profession. You increase your value by mixing the right words. Anybody here ever waited tables? I can tell you that all 3 of my children waited tables. My grandchildren will wait tables, and I have a thing about waiting tables. When you wait tables, you learn about people. When you wait tables, you learn that sometimes the poorest people give the biggest tip and the biggest people give the poorest tip. You know what I mean? You learn how to motivate and inspire people. Now, those of us in the room that are hairdressers, we're exhausted on Saturday at the end of the day. I mean, you're in the break room and everybody's like, oh my God, I'm so tired. Are you tired? You got any podcasts? Now, I remember back in the day when it's like, yeah, do a couple lines, you'll feel great. You got 3 hours before it wears off. Get out there and go nowhere. Get out there and have some fun. We would go to a restaurant Saturday after work. We'd be exhausted. You ever like be looking at the menu, you're not even looking at it, and the waiter comes over and tells you the specials, you're like, okay, because that's easy. Have you ever had a waiter come over, he's got his towel around, here it is. And he comes over the maitre d', and you go, yeah, are there any specials today? He goes, yes, there are. We've got the center cut pork loin, gently grilled over mesquite chips, placed on a bed of rice, covered with the sauce au jus for $17.99. Do you know what that is?
Pork chop.
That's pork chops. That's pork chops. But how do you make pork chops sound like they're worth $17.99? You add value with words. How do you make color worth $100? How do you make people understand that if you don't use my color protecting products, there's no guarantee? That we make things that will support your problem. You have thin hair. We have thickening conditioners and thickening shampoos. Your scalp is dry. We have products that will feed your scalp. We have stuff. You've got to find a way to add value. Okay, we've only got 8 minutes, and I started late though, right? So I can have like another hour. Yeah. Who's on after me? I mean, he can talk even faster, so he can make the time up because he's really good. All right. I think I mentioned earlier, be known for good chatter. Next, give more. Give more. Now I want to give you an idea, and I don't see him here in the room, but we hang out with Peter and Brenda a lot when we're here, and I love it because do you know that, speaking of relationships and friendships, do you know that Peter and Brenda and Elaine have known each other since they were kids? Kids. You know, Peter and Elaine, you guys went to beauty school together, right? Peter and Elaine went to beauty school together. Now, Peter, he's not done. He's done quite well. But he is a foreigner. Came here from Greece as a little boy. Peter knows how to take care of people. When you're anywhere with Peter, they get to know you. So we wanted to eat at the steakhouse last night at 7 o'clock, the 6 of us, and then it became the 8 of us because Elaine's friends, John's friends are here with them. And I couldn't get the reservation. for 7 o'clock. They wouldn't do it. They said, we can give you the disc and it'll probably be in an hour or so. And I thought, that's 8 o'clock. I have to work on Tuesday, can't do it. We found another restaurant. So we're having dinner. It was nice. We had a nice time, a nice dinner. It was fun. The door fell. It was very exciting. And Peter said, we didn't eat at the steakhouse. And I said, no. He said, do you want to eat there tomorrow night? I said, I think everybody does. He goes, I'll take care of it. I said, no, they won't take reservations. He goes, I'll take care of it. I said, what are you going to do? He said, I'm going to take care of it. He said, come on, we walk over there. We walk over and he pulls out a wad of cash, starts giving the girl. You don't take reservations. She said, no, sir, we take no reservations. We're not allowed. We put you on the list. He said, no list. I want to come at 7 o'clock and there's going to be 8 of us. So it'll be 8 of us at 7. She goes, 7 o'clock, 8 people. Yes, you got it. And I was like, boy. No. So here's what I'm going to suggest to you. Leave your cleaning lady 20 pesos. Watch the difference in how your room is cleaned. Give the people a buck or two when you see the bartender. Start giving more to others, and I promise you, God will give more to you. I promise you. It's just something about the way of the world. Just be more generous and look for those in need. And think about it. That poor girl down there that's sweeping there, and I said to her, why do they give you such a little broom? And she didn't understand. She's like, oh, no English. I said, no, broom. You need a broom this big, baby. You're going to be sweeping all night long. I don't think they mind. You know, none of them live here. They can't afford to live here. They live back over there somewhere. You know? Okay, so, you give more. Next. Build and keep strong relationships. We talked about it. 2 more. Next, practice being early. Practice being early. Johnny is an hour ahead here. Chris is here even before us. Just to get things right, keep things going. Practice being early. It means everything. You're talking to a guy that was never early in the world. And Barb got on me about, do you know that it's a lack of respect when you're late picking me up? And all of a sudden, now, she's late all the time. And I'm the early one. And I say to her, Barb, lack of respect. You know, you get old enough, you're sort of like, I don't care. Which, by the way, leads me to, and I'm going to talk about this Friday. It's going to be part of our close, but I want to share with you just to ponder on. You understand kind of the way the mind works, okay? If you were to go to a quantum physicist or a really, really high psychiatrist, they'll talk to you about the fact that the way the brain works. As the brain ages, you have a choice. You can become, I don't know if I can even spell this, neuro-rigid. Neuro-rigid. That's what happens as you get older. You are set in your ways. And your ways are working, so they're working enough not to drive you to a different set of ways. You're developing neuro-rigidity. What they say is to be creative, to be have inspiration. You have to have neuroplasty. Neuroplasty. Be flexible. Try something new. Do something different. Try a different way to work. Try new words. Read a new book. Neuroplasty. Now, I'll explain the whole thing, but that's some of what we're going to talk about on Friday. I am going to find a way to get all of you to go home and try something different and see what a difference it makes. And that's the goal, because it's like discipline. Discipline is a muscle. And the more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes, and the more you begin to realize, wow, when you can challenge a simple fear, and I have to tell you, just honestly, might be a great place to finish. I am afraid of nearly everything. It's from my upbringing. I mean, I never ate Chinese food because my mom told me it was cats and dogs. Don't ever eat it, because I see a cat behind the Chinese restaurant, they're trying to catch the cat, chop it up. And then I met a girl, a really, really hot girl. And she made an interesting comment. She said, Chinese food turns me on. took a good look at her and thought, I'll eat the cat if I have to. So we went to the Chinese restaurant, and she's like, and I'm like, oh, I'm hearing like, But then after you eat it, you're like, wow, the cat's not bad. I think I'll have that again. I'm still afraid of the dark. I always have been. I don't know. I can't. I've asked God, Jesus, everybody, like, help me out here. I was reading Elizabeth Gilbert's book, and I don't know if something there got to me, and I thought, okay, we're going to turn the light out. We're going to go to bed with the light out tonight and see how it is. It works some of the time. I'm still on it. It works some of the time. Of course, when you get older, too, you have to pee every 20 minutes. So it's nice to have a light on, because otherwise I start peeing on the way to the bed. Okay, I'm going to close this up in the next 10 minutes. The last thing, practice making people like you. That's the last thing. Practice making people like you. Look at how it works. Remember, when people like you, like leads to trust. Tell me about your high school teachers that you loved. I'll tell you where you got the best grades.
Yes, absolutely.
Like leads to love. I mean, like leads to trust. So you... Well...
Chinese food.
Chinese food, right? Like leads to trust. And to the degree your customer trusts you will be the degree of money your customer will trust you with. The higher the level of trust from the people you're training, educating, cutting, is the higher the level of money that they'll trust you with. When you achieve the master status, in many ways, you take money out of the equation. It's not about what they're going to pay. It's about what they're going to get. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And I can tell you that I like to buy. Bart mentioned that money burns a hole in my pocket. It really does. I've had such difficulty spending because I want to reward myself for my childhood. So I'm always buying myself stuff. I have a thing about everywhere I go, I need a gift to remember that, moment, that area, that time. And I like buying new cars. And I'm actually just saying to Bart, my current car, I have 30,000 miles on it. And I said, God, when's the last time I had a car that had 30,000 miles? Usually by 12,000, when the thing dings, I'm like, that's it, it's 12,000. It's got to go. 12,000 miles, that's a lot. And Bart's like, she has 190,000 on hers. I'm like, no, I can't. I could never do that. But I love sometimes the service, the story. And I went to buy my most recent car, and I'm looking at it, studying it, reading about it. I went to the factory. I'm all like, and the salesman comes over and he goes, I have to introduce myself. I'm Charles. I've been watching you. And I said, yeah. He said, you're a smart man. He says, you're really walking around taking your time. I said, I kind of know what I want, but I'm not sure that I know what I want. He said, you're too smart to think so much. Have fun. Buy yourself a nice car. And he walked away. And I'm still looking at the seats, and all of a sudden, it's me. And I'm saying, listen, shithead. You're too smart to be thinking so much. Just buy the damn car. Well, I don't know what happened. The next thing you know, I'm driving home in the car. I miss all the time. I'm driving home and I'm thinking, I hope I did the right thing. And then all of a sudden he comes back again. Of course you did the right thing, you idiot. Forget about it. Drive on home. So, here's our closing thoughts. Be careful. It's important to move. But don't mistake movement for activity. It's two different things. Don't mistake movement for activity. And then be most careful of this one. Don't mistake activity for productivity. Two different things. It's one thing to move. It's another thing to be active. It's one thing to be active, it's another thing to be productive. So here's the greatest gift you can give yourself. No matter how you're feeling, no matter what's going on, no matter what you're doing, no matter what's kicking in your life, make every day somewhat productive. And if you're searching, say, for balance, then be productive in laugh a little, dance a little, read a little, study a little, grow a little. I'm going to close on Friday with one of my favorite books, and I'm going to share a quick book report with you on how much I learned and got out of this book called Success is a Choice. But here's what I want you to think about. If you believe me when I say you are deserving, and you believe me when I say you have greatness within you, then the most important thing you need to get from this week is, how do I begin to bring the greatness out? How do you begin to bring that greatness out of you? And when you look at that balance and that life, like we had talked about earlier, it's not about being rich, it's about being secure, it's about having time freedom. Those are the things money bring you. If you feel like there's not enough happiness, if you want to look anytime this week at my day timer, I program fun every day. Because I believe every day you deserve to have fun, because I believe one day you're going to die. Don't make it the shitty day. You know, could you imagine going to heaven and saying, look, can I just have one more day? You know? Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay? Are you all with me?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So, what you want to be careful of is be productive every day. Don't let any day go by where you're not productive. If you're looking at balance, read a little, grow a little, and then stop for a minute. What do you deserve? What do you deserve? Do you, if you want to make more money, then start by telling me how much you know about money. Because that's where it starts. If you want to be better at beauty, start by telling me how much do you know about beauty. That's where it starts. Do you know how many years I've said, take Sandy, take Rhonda, take someone to lunch, take John to lunch, buy him lunch. Find out how they got there. Success leaves tracks. And really, rather than create our own path, you can get right in those tracks and you can follow. I mean, look at some of us that are close here. Look at what some of us have gone through, and look at where we are, and look at what we're doing, and look at how we've changed, and look at what it's done. Everyone has challenges. Some of you are familiar with my dear friend Nick Arrojo. I met with Nick a couple months ago in New York, and he started to tell me just quickly a little bit about his life, and he said, oh my gosh, it's been wild. Coming here from England, he said, you know, struggling hairdresser, trying to make it work in New York City, rent $40,000 a month in his salon. He said, then all of a sudden he got a call. He's taking a taxi to work, he's taking a taxi home, he gets a call, they want him to be on TV. He said, oh my God, in a month, boom, I'm on TV, I'm doing the makeover show. A limo's picking me up, limo's dropping me off, limo's picking me up, everybody's taking me out to dinner, people can't wait to be with me and talk to me. He said, then, the show's over. I'm back to New York, limo's gone, back in a taxi, driving to the salon, trying to make $30,000 a month rent because I downsized. Life goes like this, right? The key. When it's here, have fun. When it gets down here, prepare to have fun. When it gets back up here, have fun. Make money. Get down here, you get a little down. Now here's what you want to be careful of. I have a sister, when she gets down here, oh, she loves it. She loves being down there. Oh, she gets down there and she's like, okay, I'm going to buy a gallon of ice cream, the saddest movies, and I'm just going to stay depressed as long as I can. And she like lives in depression. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? She's all depressed. I said, there's just one thing. You can't be depressed and be productive at the same time.
Right.
You can't. So when she says to me, I'm depressed, I'm like, do something. Other than eat ice cream and watch sad movies. Do something. Because you can't be depressed and be productive at the same time. So get out and be productive. Do something. Be something. Get a job. Find a way to work. But here's the problem. A lot of people, when they get down here, they suffer self-doubt. And then you get that you inside you saying to you, oh boy, see, this is who you are. This is not who you are. This is life. You choose who you are. You choose how you're going to feel. You choose your attitude. You choose what you're going to become. You choose what you're going to do. You're choosing now whether you're going to go home and make a difference, whether you're going to make a change, because most of us, it's not hard to go home and be the same. We'll be back. We'll be back next year. And then we'll do all this, and then we'll go home and be like, shit, this is pretty good. You know, then we'll do it. And all of a sudden we'll come back and somebody did it. They became a star. Now you have that conversation. Well, shit, why didn't I do it? I could have been a star. I should have done it. Then you go home, you try even harder. But it's really kind of nice at home. And then you get wrapped into the kids have stuff going on, and life comes flying in, and you do nothing. And then the next year you come back and you're like, wow, look what she did. I'm doing that until one day, one moment, one snap to change. Anybody from New York? The New York Minute. You know the New York Minute?
Yeah.
And your life can change in a New York Minute. You have the power to change your life in a New York Minute by walking out that door and simply saying, there's things about me, about my thinking, about my attitude that I will no longer bring with me, leave them on the beach in Mexico, go home and be someone different. Now, I'll tell you, it takes knowledge. It takes new knowledge. It takes spirit. You have to have a relationship with someone. I have a relationship with God. A Dalai Lama might even work for you. Find somebody. Find something. You have to have friends. You have to have a support system around you. You have to have good relationships. I mentioned yesterday how cool it is that so many husbands come to this. So many spouses come. Some of you bring your friends in and invite people you've known for years and years. That's some of the specialness about Amico, about us, and about what we do. So, nearly right on time. Thank you very much for this morning.